it takes me 5 motherfucking minutes to not only plan my day, but my entire week. And despite me being someone who is easily distracted, is a heavy procrastinator, and is easily overwhelmed by the sight of a lot of work, I am still able to be 5 times more productive than I ever was before, just by planning my day right. And this planner is so simple, so easy to friggin' replicate, that I will personally explain it to you in less than 3 minutes while playing on my Minecraft world. Oh my god, look at all these pumpkins. This planner aims to satisfy 3 requirements: to be as clear as possible, simple to understand, and straight to the point. One, if not the main reason why we procrastinate and get nothing done, is simply because we feel like there's too much work. And that feeling overwhelms us and keeps us from starting in the first place. So if we can stop our day from looking confusing, overwhelming, and difficult to start, we practically remove 90% of the mental obstacles stopping us from actually being efficient. So to start, we'll have 3 simple sections for our ultimate planner, which usually I like to split it into 2 documents on my phone's notes app. We'll call the first section automatic. To make things easy, this is where we'll list everything that we do on a daily consistent basis. For example, let's say a morning routine. Okay, so this is what I usually do after I wake up. You can also put other things that you might do in the middle of the day, like let's say after work or school, you might have a workout routine that you do. So you can put that in this section as well. The reason for us having all of this here is in hopes of 2 things. 1, to ingrain, and 2, to mentally set aside. The goal here is to ingrain these routines and habits into our systems to the point where we won't even have to think twice before doing them. And also, if you're anything like me, seeing a gigantic to-do list with 20 different things to do can be very overwhelming. So taking the repetitive tasks out of our list and setting them somewhere else usually helps clear up our space a little bit. And it makes the friction between us and completing a task a lot less scary. Now for the second document, which we'll split into 2 sections. The first section in this document will be called weekly, and as the name implies, it'll contain what we plan to complete for each day of the week. Now, if we were to literally put everything we plan to do every day in this section, we'll only overwhelm ourselves with the amount of things we'll have to do. So this section will specifically be reserved for the main focuses and priorities of our life rather than every single task. For example, let's say we got this guy over here, right? And his priorities at the moment are the gym, running, and studying for classes. Let's say his main priority is studying. So for each day, he'd write down each thing he'd want to complete, ending up with something like this. And normally, he wouldn't have to put anything about the gym or running if he had already attached them to the automatic section. But for example, let's say his Monday run were to look something different from his Tuesday run. In this case, he can add a bullet under those days and write that down too. Usually, planners and to-do lists only contain what someone seeks to accomplish for one day. But planning the main goals we want to set for ourselves ahead of time gives us a clearer vision of how much we'll accomplish and removes less stress and worry for what we'll have to complete tomorrow. This also makes it so that if anything unexpected comes up, it'll always be easy for us to go back and adjust our plans accordingly in response to it. Now, last on our list is the daily section. And like it sounds, this will be our to-do list for today. However, unlike the conventional method for planning your day, let's switch things up a little bit and split this section into 2 parts. For our first part, we'll have a simple bullet list or timeline of what we have to do today. You can do this however you like, but you must follow this one rule. Make it simple. If you cannot summarize a task in like 3-4 words or less, then make it happen. And I'll explain why in a second. But for the second part, we'll have something called a planning paragraph. In this part, I want you to visualize every single thing that will happen on the day that you're planning, from when you wake up all the way to when you fall asleep. Talk about what time you'll do each task, what you'll be doing, how exactly you'll do it, the obstacles you face, and so on. The main point is to write this part as specific as you possibly can. And write this part as if you're simply explaining how your day will go to a friend or somebody you know. Now you might be asking, why do all of this? The goal here is to be specific and clear with our goals without overwhelming us. Kind of like a book. Rather than having a fat, clumpy, confusing to-do list, you can split it into 2 parts. One that clearly shows the context of the day, like a table of contents, and one that goes in depth on what exactly you expect from the day, like the actual content and chapters of a book. This not only helps us clear up what we want to complete, but it also prepares us for doing those tasks by visualizing how they'll unfold and how we'll tackle them. Go try this planner setup for yourself and test it for like a week. If you do everything right and it helps you be much more productive, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. Peace.